Hey, my awesome YouTube family. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I got something really special for you guys. It is a small glimpse into my life as a school bus driver. Now, my life as a school bus driver ain't just like your typical 9 to 5, because I'm not just doing one job or 2 jobs or 3 jobs. I'm doing about a total of 4 jobs. So buckle up, get ready, and let's go on this wild ride. So you might be interested, what are the 4 jobs you're talking about? Well, I'm going to tell you as soon as I climb this ladder right here behind me. So what 4 jobs am I doing? Well, of course, you know about this video. I am showing you my life as a school bus driver. So that's number 1. Got to bend my head down so I can get on top of the roof right here. There we go. Now we're on top of the roof of my house. This is one of my other jobs. I am in process of building my own house for my family. I don't have any contractors. I'm doing all this with just by watching YouTube. And of course, my dad and my son is helping me. So it's like 3 generations are building this house. And my last job, I already told you guys that I have my own woodworking business. Now, my woodworking, I build custom built dog kennels. And for many years, the last 6 years, it's been a really great business. But the problem is now we got a lot of these big companies out there selling dog kennels or indoor dog kennels that are made in China. Of course, these are really low, extremely low quality kennels made from particle wood and a very thin layer of veneer, so dogs can just burst out of them. Of course, I build mine out of love in real wood. So dogs, there's a bee over there, one of those big bumblebees. Got my eye on it. See if you can get it on camera. Hey, good morning, YouTube. Thank you for taking this ride along with me today to see how a life of a school bus driver is. It is really early in the morning, as you can tell by how dark it is out here. It's about 6 o'clock. So first thing I gotta do is come in here and do a pre-trip on my bus. I'm gonna show you how I do that real quick. So first of all, let me walk up to the front of the bus here. As I'm walking up, I'm over here looking for any leaks, oil on the ground. Let me see if I can brighten this up a little bit. Okay, that's a little better. So I'm in front of the bus here. I'm looking for any leaks that might be on the bottom. I'm making sure the bus ain't tilted, you know, one side or the other side. That would indicate a problem. So it looks like we're good there. So let me come over here and pop the hood before I crank it up. I gotta check all this stuff. Let me zoom out the camera. There we go. Well, we get a better view of everything. Sorry for I'm holding the camera myself. All right, so I got that undone. Go back to the front of the bus. I got this little handy little hood latch here. That way you can open it far enough. There we go. I'll usually start on this side over here. Alrighty, see if I can maybe brighten it up a little bit better. No, guess I really can't. So I'm looking at the belt, make sure it has enough tension. Shouldn't be able to pull it no more than 3/4 of an inch. And it looks like I can pull it just a little bit. That means that has good tension there. This right here is my windshield wiper fluid. It's good. Checking my radiator. It has the full mark right here and the low mark right here. It's literally just right below full. So we're good on coolant. I'm going down here to check man, I can't see anything with the camera. Hold on, let me see if I can turn on my watch light. Give me 1 second. And got an Apple Watch, so it has a really bright, there we go, flashlight in it. So I'm looking at my brake chamber, make sure I have all the Carter keys. Carter keys are, I'm trying to see if I can, there's this little metal keys that's going through that little end of that bolt right there. So that's good. Checking my brakes. our brake pads. Make sure they have enough lining. They do, they're good. See them right there. All right, so we're good on this side. I go on this side over here. I'm pretty much doing the same thing. I'm looking, that's the power steering fluid. It has the max input. I have to hold my hand here, but there's the as you can see, max, hot, cold, and it's right there on the cold side. So we're good. Checking my power steering pump, make sure there's no leaking or anything. All my Carter keys there. Checking this brake chamber as well. I'm looking at the brake pads. All right, we're good. So I'm gonna check the engine oil. This one here is the engine oil. This right here is the transmission fluid. So I want to check the engine oil here. All right, we're good. See if I can get that back in the hole. Come on. Okay, good. I got it. All right. Also checking, make sure all my lug nuts are tight. I have no rust stains. I don't have any my hub seal's not leaking. One on the other side was actually leaking on me a few weeks back. I had to replace it. Checking, make sure I don't have any flat tires. Also checking this hub seal. No rust stains around any of the lug nuts. I look like this one I was walking up a second ago. All right, I'm gonna close the hood now. All right, get inside the bus, do a safe start. Now I can finally turn on my lights here a little bit. We'll go and close my door by hitting the switch above the door. I had to build some air pressure before the door will close. And sorry about the buzzer going off because it has low air pressure because I pumped it down the night before. So I'm going to have to rev up the engine now. Alright, so now I'm watching my air gauge. Just when this gauge here hits about 60, the door will close. The door is closing right now. And it kind of stops and goes down a little bit because it's releasing the air pressure, giving air pressure to the door. This one here is starting to climb. Now, when this one here hits 100, my bus has airbags, so when it hits 100, it's going to dip back down to probably about 75. So I'm going to wait for this gauge here to hit 100. Almost there. Yep, it just hit 100. Yep, see that? Now you see the gauge going back down because now the bus is actually shifting because now it's inflating the airbags under the bus. And now I'm able to start driving. Talk to you in a bit. Can't show you guys me driving, so. So I'll park at this gas station until 6:30. So right now it's 6:29. So I'm sitting here waiting for my phone, my watch to hit 6:30. That way, so I'm literally only maybe a quarter mile from my first pickup. I do this right here so I can be a consistent time on my first pickup. If I'm on a consistent time on my first pickup, that usually makes me consistent on my other pickups. So I leave kind of early, I get to this gas station, and I sit here and wait for 6:30 to hit. And that's what I'm doing right now. So, you gotta know the school bus, that's fixing to pull out right there, and usually when he pulls out, that's usually my cue to go. So he just pulled out. So I'm gonna turn this camera off. That way, so I can leave and pick up my first stop. Okay guys, before I get started, I just wanna walk through real quick on what I do whenever I pick kids up in the morning. So over here on my left, This button right here opens the door. So this opens the door to the school bus. It's a three-way switch. So what happens is I can activate my lights without opening the door. And if I fully open it, the door opens, which is really nice. And then when it's cold outside or it's raining, because when I'm coming to a stop, I can activate my lights without opening the door up. That way I don't let all the heat out. Or if I had an AC bus, I won't let all the cold air out. And then when I'm fully ready to open the door, I can fully open the door. So this is a three-way switch. 1, 2, 3. This button right here is the amber lights. All your lights on the bus are automated. So I don't have to manually say, you know, yellow lights, red light, stop sign to go out. This right here does everything for me. When I hit this light right here, it's going to activate my amber lights on top of the bus, the back of the bus. And when I do my door halfway, it will switch to everything to be red. My stop arm will come out. My crossing gate will come out automatically. So it does everything right there for you. Then when you open the door, everything's already on, and you let the kids in the bus. Now when you close the door, it will deactivate the system. So your lights will turn off. Your stop arm will, your stop sign will come back in, and your crossing gate will come back in. Now the rules on picking up a kid is when you're 200 feet away from your stop, you activate your yellow lights, your amber lights, 200 feet away. And then whenever you get to the stop, you come to a complete stop, make sure traffic has stopped in both directions, then you activate the reds. If you do see someone, because you know sometimes people ain't really paying attention, some cars like to run your lights and everything. So usually if I see a car that's kind of like that, where they haven't made the decision they're going to stop, I'll wait to flip the lights to red and let them go past the bus. Because besides your kids, you need to teach your kids on the bus to not just walk across the road. You want to make sure you're making eye contact with the kids when you're pulling up, and then you tell them to cross the road. And same thing when you let off the bus. You don't want the kids just to go out and cross the road. You want the kids to go out to where you can see them, stop, don't cross the street, and then I wave the kids across the street once all the traffic has stopped. All right, so that's how we do it. Now we're going to do, I'm going to have my kids at the road here, and we're going to simulate this as a real pickup. All right, so here goes our first pickup. First pickup is literally about 200 feet away, so I'm going to hit this light right here, which activates my amber light. So I don't know if you can't see it, but if you look at my cat eyes, you can actually see the yellow lights blinking. And I'm going to come to a stop right here.
Good morning.
Then close the door, and then when I turn the switch one more time, that will turn off all of my red lights and things like that. Stop arm went in, crossing gate went in, and we're good to go to the next stop. All right, now we're going to simulate a child crossing the street. So I'm about 200 feet from our stop. Activate my amber lights. All right, come to a stop. Wait for traffic, make sure no traffic's coming. Activate my reds. Now when you don't cross the street, just walk out right there and wait for my sign. Because I gotta watch out for cars like that right there. Alright. And now I can close my door, deactivate my red lights, and we're good to go. So I had to go get a part-time job to do in between my routes. But anyways, let me turn off my bus here. As you can tell, the alarm is going off, which means I need to go in the back and hit that button. So come on, let's go hit this button together. And as I'm walking back, I'm looking to make sure there is no kids in the seats. And here's that button I was talking about. Just gotta press and hold until you see the lights blink. There you go. Now I can let go, and there you go. And now I'm walking forward. As I'm walking forward, I'm making sure that no kids are left, no backpacks are left. Nope. So yeah, we're good to go. So I'm gonna lay down in the seats right here, and just like this right here, lay down in the seats and wait for about 10 minutes before I have to go clock in, which means I can watch some YouTube or catch up on reading. I can't really take a nap because then I might not wake up. But yep, that's what I do in between my school bus route and my day job. And I'm gonna take you in there and show you what I do. If you guys are kind of squeamish about blood and things like that, I'm a meat cutter. It's something I did 20 years ago before I started doing my other career in the cable field. I was a meat cutter, and now I'm back doing it. That's one reason. I enjoy it. I like being in 40 degree weather all day long, and yeah, I just like it. I did it when I was a kid, and now I'm doing it 20 years later. So I'm going to take you in there. I'm going to show you. I'm not going to show you every aspect of that job, because this is mainly about, you know, a day in the life of a school bus driver. But you guys want to know what I do, and I'm going to show you. So one of my primary responsibilities is to take the case I just filmed and make it all fresh. So all this right here is stuff that came out from yesterday. Got to trade this all up and cut some fresh stuff for the case. All right, guys. So first thing I do is put on my mesh medieval metal glove, and I'm going to trim up some pork loins for the case outside. How I trim these is take my paring knife or my skinning knife, and when you start down, you start kind of aggressive, but then when you get down to the skin part on top of the loin, you kind of point it kind of slightly up, you keep it down with pressure, and it cuts off the fat nice and smooth. Now you don't want to go all the way through this. What's that membrane called? What's that membrane called that's on top of the meat underneath the fat?
Silver skin.
Silver skin? Okay. So it's called the silver skin that's underneath the fat on top of the meat. So when you slice down, see right there? That's the silver skin right there. So you just want to kind of go into the fat, but keep a little upward motion and just trim it off the fat right there. Now this pork one here is kind of already lean, so it's not really much to trim. So I might do that. Sometimes you see pork loins out there that are like covering the fat. Since I'm doing this for the case, we're going to cut these extra thick. So I'm going to cut these about 1.5 inches. We got to make 6 of them. You want to make sure you do a smooth motion all the way down. 1, 2, 3, 6. So of course the case out there. You got to do it. Look at that. Beautiful piece of pork. And I'll save this for later. This right here is a different brand of pork called Harvest Farms. This actually has more fat on it right there. So same thing, you just want to kind of start deep and have the knife pointed slightly upwards. Get through the fat and out through the silver skin. Same thing with this right here. I'm going to cut 1.5 inches. I'm going to cut 4 of these up because the size of the tray is all small. You know what? I'm going to go cut 1 more. Alrighty, guys. Well, finally, my day job part 2 is over. I was like, my day job's over, but I'm fixing to start my evening route. I literally have an hour before my evening route because I get to come here. I parked up to school. I can have some me time. I can either read a book, play a video game, watch YouTube, fall asleep, take a nap. Yeah, just hang out with myself. You know, what I call me time. I like this part of the time of day, so I can just, literally do what I want to at school. The only bad part about it is the buses that we have does not have AC in it and where I work at. So right now it's starting to get pretty warm. In the wintertime it was good because I could come here, the bus would already be warm. I would have my jacket. If I didn't need my jacket, I use my jacket as a pillow in the seat like you saw me earlier. But right now it's starting to get kind of warm, so I have to open up some windows, some doors, and things like that. Yep. So let me get started on paperwork, and I'll show you how we do our paperwork. Alright, so here's my paperwork right here. So up here we have the different days this week, or actually this month. This is today. Today's the 19th. I already did my my morning pre-trip. And so I'm fixing to get started on my evening. So as you can see over here, we did walk-arounds like we did this morning. I looked for visual leaks of puddles on the bus. Handrail, this is the handrail right here. Fire extinguisher, that's still good. Got my first aid kit. Triangle reflectors are these things right there. Those are the emergency triangle reflectors. Front door, of course, open and closes because I got in. Keys are good because I drove it here. Headlights are good because I checked it this morning. And also, just now when I pulled up, actually my headlights are still on. See if I can zoom in right there. So I can look through these are my cat eye mirrors, and I can see that my buttons right here, buttons on, and I can see that my lights are working there. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn my lights off. Yep, on, off. So I know those things are working. Let me go and zoom back out. Where's it at? It just started raining driving up here, so I know my windshield's good. Gauge is working, steering, horn. So yeah, all these are good. Then down here, check for children post-trip. I always put check marks on all these right there. So we are good to go. So let me just go ahead. I know all these are good, so I'm going to draw a line all the way down. And then before I get off today, I'll check that last box right there. And that's the paperwork we do every day. Also, every district is totally different. This district lets you just put a line. As you see, I had that line I drew all the way down to check all the things. That is how we do it at our district. Now, my last district I worked at 2 years ago, we could not do that line. We had to actually put a check mark on every single box. So every school is different. So some, I think nowadays, they got some schools which are electronic. So you just have to, basically in the PA system you got, not PA, but in their PDA system or phone or their tablet, they would have to go and actually click, 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 click with their fingers. I have never done anything like that, but if you live in a district that's different, please let me know. Leave a message in a comment. How does your district do their pre-trip and the post-trip? Now, also, the other school district I worked at, we had a sheet just for pre-trip and a totally different sheet for post-trip, which are things you had to check off too. This one here, the only post-trip we had to do on this sheet is to check to make sure we left no kids on the bus. So, alrighty, well, there you have it. A life as a school bus driver. Now there's only a couple last things we got to do, and that is to close the door and close these windows. Now, if you're lucky, there's some buses, most new buses out there, you can actually do this from the outside of the school bus. So instead of closing the windows from the inside, you can actually come out here just like that and walk around your bus, closing the windows. All right, well, thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. And if you haven't liked or subscribed, I would appreciate a subscribe from you, or at least a like. That way the algorithm will know who to send the videos to. And if you're thinking about becoming a school bus driver, do it. It's an awesome career, and you get to meet a lot of new people and a lot of crazy kids, and hopefully no mean kids. We got a few of those out there. All right, guys, you have a good one, and I'll see you around the corner.